Excuse me, collective. I haven't been creating any content in a while, so let me get back in the rhythm, get my equilibrium balanced and flowing. All right. So let's see what message Spirit has for the collective today, y'all. All right. Now I pre-shuffled my cards before I came on camera. All right. What message we got for the collective today, Spirit? Oh, okay. So the Lord definitely is a good refuge in the time of trouble, y'all. So the first card out, freedom. Freedom. What we getting freedom from? I'm interested. So somebody is learning what I'm feeling just off these two cards alone, y'all. Because we got Capricorn energy up here and we got Mercury out here. So somebody could be doing some self-reflecting and communicating with the divine so they could get aligned with their most authentic self and their soul's purpose. They're taking a refuge in the divine during this time of trouble in their life. And they are seeking freedom. Freedom from the bondage of this 3D world that they allow themselves to get caught up in. Freedom from these low vibrational situations that they've allowed to take place in their reality for however long it took place. But now they're starting to see that there is a difference between being low vibrational and high vibrational. There is a difference. Especially when you start doing that self-reflecting and start healing from your traumatic wounds, healing from old patterns and cycles that didn't serve your highest good, creating that discipline and obedience to the divine order. And they're understanding by doing this, you can't mistake longing for love. Just because you're longing for a connection, longing for something different, something new, a new experience, don't just jump into just anything because it may not be the purpose that the divine has for your soul. It may be a delay and detour, and you don't want that. So the collective is seeing that, and that's why they want freedom. They seeing, I'm over repeating these same cycles, these same patterns. I'm seeking refuge in the divine because I want freedom. And they don't have facts, so they fill in the gaps. They realizing by aligning themselves with low vibrational people, places, and things, if you don't take time to do your own investigation, do your own prayer seeking truth, you're just going to assume. And when you assume, you make it out of you. And the collective is seeing, I'm over assuming. I'm doing my own research. I'm seeking refuge in the divine so I can get the downloads needed to see what direction I need to be traveling in, instead of being impulsive and just moving off of emotions. No, the collective is taking time, taking a step back and seeing it for what it is and planning accordingly, moving in the way of the divine instead of just assuming and moving blind. All right? Yeah, people are waking up from groupthink. They're seeing that being a part of groupthink, it can allow you to get caught in a collective delusion, a collective illusion. And by not doing the research on whatever situation, places, and people, places, and things in your life, and using your discernment and using the wisdom that you learned from previous situations and paying attention to the red flags and quiet out the noise so you can think, people are seeing that groupthink can be really bad and toxic and turn out not for your greater good or for your higher self, especially if y'all all not on the same page, because your morals and your integrity and your standards may be different from somebody else. But if you are connecting on ways that is not resonating with your soul in traumatic situations or forced situations, settling situations, not giving it the proper thought through, you may end up in a situation that going to teach you a lesson instead of being a blessing. So that's where discernment come into play. So once you learn these lessons from being put in situations like that, You got to find the wisdom in that and apply it to your life. So that way, when that cycle come around again and the universe come back to test you on that same subject, you ain't getting caught up in no group thing. You see it coming a mile away because your discernment on point. You're like, oh, okay. Now, somebody come in, saying something, doing something. You're not going to just assume or go off their word. You're going to do your own investigation. You're going to seek the truth, your own truth, and stand in it. Okay? And that's what the collective is seeing. And they seeking freedom from that because they is cleaning out these low vibrational mindset, low vibrational way of thinking, low vibrational beliefs. They learning how to do their own thinking, seek their own information, seek their own wisdom, seek their own knowledge, because it's better to know than assume. You rather know something than assume something, because when you know something, can't nobody take that from you. Can't nobody take what you know away from you, because you know that is truth and facts don't change and truth don't lie. All right? And people is pissed off because they didn't take time to find the truth. And they took somebody's word and thought it was truth until they found out it was an illusion. And they was in a delusion, in a collective group think. But now people are seeking freedom because they see that's not aligned with the divine. That ain't aligned with what the will the divine want for you to be your most authentic self, to follow your soul journey and your purpose and not being a follower. You're supposed to be a leader of your own self, leader of your destiny, and make sure you are following all spiritual laws, all things that lead to your higher good, and not taking all these shortcuts thinking you getting over, getting ahead, because there's no shortcuts. The divine sees everything, and you will keep repeating that same cycle until you find the lesson and move accordingly. It's only right. So that's why people are seeking refuge in the divine in this time of trouble. Because he is a good refuge. He is a healer. He is the peace that surpasses all understanding. And he will help you find your freedom. Because why? The truth will set you free. And he will teach you how to connect with people, places, and things properly, healthy, and align with your soul's purpose. So that way you can feel joy, you can feel peace, you can feel love, you can feel that understanding of navigating your reality effectively. Because now you'll have all the facts and you won't be susceptible to groupthink. All right. And on the bottom, somebody's going to jail. You got orange. Okay. Switch this out. All right. Now let's get a little, hold on. Okay. Now let's get a little bit of tarot, y'all. Let's see what tarot has to say about this situation. Somebody is saving up. Somebody is planning. Somebody is holding on to something. Maybe their beliefs, maybe to their integrity, their morals. Or some people could still be holding on to the groupthink mentality and don't want to let that go and clean it out, and mistaken longing for love. Because you know there's always two sides to a coin, a light and a shadow. All right? And those people could be pissed off because, yeah, they fell for the okie doke. And some people, they okay with it. That could be another issue. The people that were entangled with each other are seeing that the people they aligned with, they were just assuming, they was just repeating information. Nobody did no investigation. Nobody had no true facts. And that is pissing a lot of people off because they feel like, how was I so gullible? How did I fall for words without even seeing the facts? And people seeking freedom. Freedom to be their own free thinkers. Freedom to be able to navigate this soul journey with clarity from their own mind and their alignment with the divine without falling into this groupthink cycle or situation. How many more stories are thinking? Yes, so now people, they looking to find, how can I learn They want to be a student. Apprenticeship, learning, studying, growing, hard work, commitment, building on success, collaboration, determination, goals, dedication, quality, attention to details, tradesperson, achievements, recognition, reward. People are looking and doing self-reflecting on how to not become a victim of groupthink or low vibrational groupthink or any groupthink. Because even in a positive groupthink, you want to make sure you do your own homework so that way you know, and you're not just going off of somebody else's information. You did your own investigation. And people are seeking guidance on how to do this, on how to use their discernment, maybe seeking spiritual guidance, seeking out teachers, life coaches, to maybe help them see a different perspective on where they were blind at and how they allow themselves to do this. Or people are just doing some meditation and talking to the divine and listening to the downloads and going into hermit and doing some soul searching and doing some real deep self-reflection to see how they allow themselves to get caught up in a situation that was not for their highest good. And if they knew all the facts, instead of assume, they knew they would have made a different choice and it would have been a different outcome and they wouldn't be pissed off because they fell for the group thing. All right, but it's okay because nothing is wasted. None of this is here for your shaming, because the divine will use this all for your greater good. You just need to see the lesson for what it is. Okay, I see it, I accept it, find the lesson and apply it and move forward. This is not gonna hold you back. This doesn't define you. It's just showing you where you need to tighten up your discernment and enforce boundaries at. Tell me more, Spirit, please, and thank you. I don't want to take all these cards, Spirit. All right, let me get one card, Spirit, please, and thank you, about this teamwork and why they pissed off about this group thing. All right. Because of an emperor. Okay. We have an emperor. It could be a mature man, somebody who's stable. Either an emperor fell for groupthink and is seeking freedom and cleaning out things that no longer serve him and taking refuge in the divine and seeking guidance on how to sharpen his discernment and his boundaries. Or an emperor is the cause of the illusions and delusions to make people fall into groupthink and not having the facts, and it made them fill in the gaps. So it could be on the high vibrational side and low vibrational side. There's an emperor who's seeking knowledge on how to increase his discernment and boundaries. And there's an emperor who like to have people in illusions and delusions, and people are pissed off because they fell for the group thing, thinking that what this emperor was teaching them and they were learning from him was truth. But it was not truth. It was delusions and illusions. And now they want freedom. So I'm feeling it's two emperors, high vibrational emperors and low vibrational emperors. Okay. And the high vibration one is seeking refuge in the divine so that he can strengthen his empire. Maybe his empire is got some weak links in it that he got to clean out. And he realizing he don't want to mistake longing for love. You're longing for love, thinking that the connections with the people that's in his kingdom is of love and light. And they are part of low vibrational situations, and they causing chaos and confusions and illusions, making people get pissed off because they giving out wrong information and having people fill in the gaps, thinking that it's facts when it's not. All right. Tell me more, Spirit, please, and thank you. So there's a King of Wands. I apologize, I digress. I don't know why I said King of Wands. A Knight of Wands, y'all. A Knight of Wands. Okay. A passionate person. A high passionate person who loves a challenge. They're hasty, quick decisions. someone who's impulsive. So what I'm feeling, excuse me 1 second. All right, what I'm feeling, this Knight of Wands may have looked for guidance from this Emperor, and the Emperor didn't give him proper guidance, and he's looking, this Knight of Wands is looking for freedom because he mistaked longing for love, and he's seeking refuge in the divine because he's pissed off that he fell for this group thing. This is starting to, and we got Capricorn at the top. So I'm starting to feel this is going into a low vibrational situation, y'all. That this Emperor, he led this Knight of Wands down the wrong path, down of illusion and delusions. And he got caught up in groupthink, and now he wants freedom. Yeah, and this was on the bottom. We have holding on to people, possessions, issues, deep-seated past issues, hoarding, stinginess, control, possessiveness, financial stability, financial security, saving for big purchases and retirement. Yeah. Okay. And now, and we got the Three of Wands. So this Emperor is moving forward, is seeking freedom, is moving away, seeking refuge from this groupthink. And so is this Knight of Wands, but they're holding, and we got the Queen of Wands. So we got a karmic collective that is separating and pissed off about from the guidance of an Emperor. And they are holding on to people, places, and things because they have deep-seated past issues about, it could be from the guidance that they received from this Emperor, because they are pissed off because he gave them wrong information about a situation, and everything is starting to fall apart, and now people want freedom. Wow. Okay. Yeah, people are going into Hangman to get a different perspective about the situation. Yeah. Somebody was expecting their wishes to come true. Somebody was looking forward to their wishes coming true. And they had two choices to move forward. And this is justice. So the two choices, they got to move forward. They got two choices. And the truth is out about a Queen of Pentacles and a Knight of Pentacles. A King of Pentacles and a Queen of Pentacles. The truth is out. All right. Wow, there's a lot of information going on in this situation, y'all. At the end of the day, what I'm feeling, people is just waking up to finding out they was living in an illusion. And I don't know how deep they were in this illusion and how entangled they are with this Emperor, because they want freedom and they want to clean out this connection. And I don't know if they can, because there's a lot of something to do with their financial stability. Maybe this Emperor was providing them with financial stability. He was their foundation because they were seeking guidance from him. And now that something's going on with the Emperor, everybody's moving apart, they're being cleaned out. That could be divine order. People are seeking refuge in the divine in this time of trouble. All right, let's get a little more information in this situation, y'all. All right. Yeah, this could have something to do with work. This could have something to do with work and some money. Oh, okay, some work and some money. So maybe somebody's business is falling apart. This emperor, oh, okay, his structure is falling apart, and they're having meetings about it. They're pissed off. Something is falling apart. They're holding on to money. They're losing money. Sudden wealth. They was expecting sudden wealth, but they don't feel like things is going in their favor because now they're receiving a message about it. Tell me about this message in sudden wealth, spirit. A mature woman. It came out upside down, so a karmic mature woman was expecting sudden wealth, and she's received the message. Yeah, she was expecting her pathway to be cleared to sudden wealth, and she's receiving a message that instead she's going into poverty, so she's losing her money. That's why she's holding on too tight. They're moving away from this emperor. Oh, okay. Because now they're going to prison about some work that they did. That's why they pissed off. The empire is falling apart. Somebody's empire is falling apart, and from the guidance of an emperor, they didn't have all the facts. They filled in the gaps, and now they're pissed off and seeking freedom because they fell for the okie doke, and they're looking for refuge in the divine in time of trouble because they didn't follow their path and detour, and got detoured into with the emperor, and now they're waking up realizing they chose a counterfeit. It was not the path that the divine had for them, and their choices wasn't what they expected. They was expecting a pathway to be cleared to money, but they're not receiving that. They're receiving poverty instead. So they're losing their money. Their kingdom is falling apart. They received the wrong guidance because of groupthink, and the divine is clearing this out. So this could be divine intervention going on, clearing out all this toxic, low vibrational energy because they wasn't aligned with the divine. Their foundations wasn't built on truth, joy, righteousness, and clarity. It was built on lies, manipulation, chaos, confusion, and control. And so that had to be released because the divine, that wasn't a part of divine order. It's only right. I like y'all. Yeah, and people are starting to accept and see that they was a part of illusions and groupthink. Accepting things as they are can be a powerful step forward. You may be resisting change lately. Let go of control and you will discover peace. A new opportunities is in the present moment. Yeah. So the collective is being able to move forward from this low vibrational situation because those who are following their soul purpose and waking up from these low vibrational manipulative people who trick people into not following their purpose and of the divine, but following this empress purpose. So I'm feeling it was a dark purpose these people were on, and people are waking up that they were following a dark purpose of an emperor and this queen of wands and their knight of wands. They were receiving wrong guidance from these people. They thought it would lead them to wealth, but all it's going to lead them into probably spiritual wealth, physical wealth, but now it's leading them into spiritual poverty, emotional poverty, physical poverty, and they're receiving a message about that because they wasn't aligned with their purpose, so they're seeking refuge in the divine to see if they can get aligned with their soul purpose. Your purpose is guiding you forward. Have you been feeling lost? Refocus on what truly matters to you and pursue the things that bring meaning and fulfillment. Yeah. People are accepting that they was not following their soul's purpose, and they starting to get aligned with the divine. So people could be receiving downloads at this time so they can get aligned with their purpose and move forward, yeah, amongst this confusion. Because confusion is temporary and leads to clarity. Are you feeling lost? Slow down, be patient, and allow clarity to emerge in its own time. Yeah. So people are slowing down. They are doing some self-reflection, seeking refuge in the divine, waiting for the downloads, crying out the noise. And they are seeing